Truth is setting us free. This is a podcast for those of us who want to be set free. Is that you? The basis for most religions is the practice of spiritual principles. However, in the name of religion, wars are being waged across the planet. The intention of this podcast is to take a step above religion by creating a personal relationship with Spirit, or the God of your understanding. These are some of the principles that are setting me and others free. Principles like peace, joy, gratitude, acceptance, patience, tolerance, forgiveness, compassion, and empathy, just to name a few. See if you can identify yourself in the stories that follow and how some of the most inspirational people in my life are practicing these principles and being set free. See if you can be set free through the practice of spiritual principles. I invite you to enjoy what follows. So, thank you for joining me, RG. And I really am grateful that you could share your experience today on this powerful principle called love. Welcome.
Thank you, Maurice. It's an honor and a privilege to see you and to connect with you and to speak on this principle of love.
I'm really grateful that you're here today to talk about it. Could you give us a little background on how you relate to this principle and how you use it in the community?
So I relate to the principle of love from two different venues, from a spiritual aspect and from a religious aspect, and from a humanitarian aspect on different levels. Love never fails for me. Love never fails. And I think it's the most powerful emotion that a human being can express. It is a principle, but it's also a very strong emotion that we have in us. And I connect with it because I have a God inside me that's loving and caring and patient and forgiving. And I communicate on so many levels with the principle of love. Because again, there's other subcategory principles, Maurice, such as forgiveness, patience. You know, they've written so many songs about it. All we need is love and all that, you know, principle on love. Then there's different types of love. The Greeks got 4 different, you know, the storge love, the love of family, and the love based on principles. I love you because you're my neighbor. I love you because you're my neighbor. I've never seen you. We've never had a lot of communications. And by the way, speaking about neighbor, there's a scriptural saying that you must love your neighbor as yourself. Just think what that embodies. Think what that embodies. I'm loving my neighbor as myself. You know, I wouldn't hurt myself. I wouldn't steal from myself. You know, I wouldn't throw garbage on my property. Why would I do it to you? And sometimes, Maurice, I get real animated and vocal and angry when I don't see love expressed in other people. However, I realize that people make just decisions and choices. I like when you leave me, and I'll give you an example I had earlier today. All right, I'll stop there. Maybe another question will lead me in another direction. But yeah, I embody love. I do a lot in the community, a lot of nonprofit organizations that I devote my time and energy to. And I just get a certain deep satisfaction from that.
So I'm going to give you a very brief and simple definition of love, and ask you then what you would add to it or take away or change regarding this definition. Love is a selfless and unconditional affection for others. What would you add or take away from that?
You know, I would agree with it, first of all.
Mm-hmm.
It's also a patient with others. I think, especially in the climate that we're living in today's world, with what's going on throughout the world and in people's personal life, I need to be patient with and kind. I don't need you to say you love me. I need to feel your love.
What does it mean to love someone else?
Okay, depends on who that someone else is. Like I mentioned before, I wouldn't love my neighbor the same way I love my daughter. So yeah, let me add a question again, Maurice, if you don't mind.
What does it mean to love someone?
To make sacrifices. To make sacrifices for that person. To go out to make sacrifices, to be interested in that person, to talk to that person, to care for that person, to cry with that person, to laugh with that person.
So you believe that those are things that will make them feel the love that you have for them?
I certainly hope so. I certainly hope so.
Can you love more than one person at a time?
Absolutely. Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
And I think you're just giving us a look at the different kinds of love that you experience. So what does it feel like to you to be loved?
I want to go back on the love there. I think there. No, I won't go back on that. To me, to feel, I feel wanted. For you to love me, I feel wanted. I feel connected. I feel special.
Is it, you have more to say?
That's pretty much it. Yeah.
Is it possible to love someone who doesn't love you back?
Absolutely, man. I've had a lot of experiences with that. I believe that I'm speaking from a male perspective and a female perspective, is that love hurts. Love can hurt. And when you've been hurt by love, it takes time to heal. one of the most damaging scars that a person can get is the scar of a broken heart that never heals because they put their all. You often see this in marriages and relationships. Again, I'm speaking with a man and a woman relationship, but it also can be a child. And the parents, look at the parents, the thousands and thousands of parents that have been hurt by their children, who can tell a parent based on whatever they're going through is, I don't love you anymore.
What about a parent hurting the child?
Same way, even more so with a parent, because you have and this is built in us. There's no love, like you heard the expression before, there's no love like a mother's love. Usually when when your mother give up on you, she's usually the last one to give up on you.
Does she ever really give up on you?
I don't think so. Maybe during the crisis in your life, and I had a pretty crisis in my life early on. I'm a lot older now, but in my younger years, experiencing with drugs and things like that, and you know, took me down a dark road. And at the time, I hurt my mother. I caused her sleepless nights, and she was upset with how I turned out. I have since, over the last 30 years, 40 years, I've turned that completely around. But yeah.
So how has love helped you turn it around? What was the thing that brought you back to love?
A lot of prayer, a lot of meditation, a lot of seeing my fallibility as a human, and that I can err and I have faults and shortcomings just like everyone else. And people are who they are. I can't change who people are. And so pretty much letting people be who they are and not trying to, I might have my perception of you and I might judge you based on your behavior, but I still think the antidote for that is the love on you. Love on you. I just quoted that earlier, love never fails. So you asked me about, so I do a lot of praying, I do a lot of meditating. I connect with my God when I'm praying and I'm connecting with my God and I'm feeling God's love. It's easy for me to love you.
Was there a point in your own life experience where you recognized that love was the thing that could turn you around? What was the thing that caused you to move in another direction? In religion, we call it, when you move in another direction, repenting.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Was that an event or a circumstance?
There were several events when I think about yeah, there was an event early on in my life with a marriage that when I look back on, I look at the pain and hurt that I've caused. I might lose track of you. Can you give me that again, Maurice, please?
Yes. What was it that turned you around? Was there an event or a circumstance? I mean, moving in one direction you mentioned your addiction to drugs and how much pain it caused.
Yeah, to
What
everybody.
what turned it around? What did you have to do to move out of that experience and start moving in a different direction?
I had to realize that I was at the end of the road, and that I was the last one to know that I had a problem. My brothers knew it, my sisters knew it, my my employer knew it, my neighbors knew it, family members knew it. I didn't admit that I had a problem, and I was caught in the grips of addiction, of an addiction. And in my lonely hours, it was on a I would go to a hotel, spend some time by myself, and uh, I've overdosed on drugs before. Thank God I didn't die. And and then I went to a couple of rehabs, and I remember having the urge to use so much, I jumped over the fence and came back and went and got my stuff. But what caused me to turn around was a God of my understanding, a God that heard me when nobody else heard me, a God that helped me when no one else could help me, a God that heard my cry for help. And he proceeded to lift me up out of the gutter. And I'll say a quote because I like quotations. I'm very philosophical, very stoic. Yeah, stoic. Stoic. God can take a nobody and make him a somebody in front of everybody. Not that I'm looking to be no somebody, you know. I character defect. We got character defects. We got assets and liabilities. But for me, every day I want to grow to be a more humble person, because I know I have a certain arrogance about me. Yeah, and so you know, so yeah, the God that brought me out of the gutter, man. There's another scripture. It says that he heard my cry for help, and he proceeded to lift me out of the mire and place me on a rock. And so I'm obligated to give back. Once I was restored to some sanity, I'm obligated. I'm obligated to go out. And one of my things is helping men and women that's recovering from drugs, sort of like being a mentor, a sponsor.
Where did you develop this belief in this God?
It was in religion, a religion, my religion.
You went to church, or you had a religious background, or?
Yeah, I don't want to go into the particular religion, but yeah, that's my mother was raised and I was raised in that religion, and it gave me a strong foundation. It gave me a strong foundation on principles.
And did you know that this God would respond to you when you prayed that prayer of desperation?
I did.
Because many people are in that exact position. Many millions of people around the world, and don't know how to make that connection, or don't believe that it's possible. But you're a witness that it is possible. Is that right?
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt. I think when we say we made in his image, we have the potential to be loving and caring. Do you hear my cat? That's my cat Mocha. She's a rescue cat.
I don't hear her, but
Up here, Mocha. And she rescued me.
that's a very interesting perspective. You rescued each other.
Yeah, yeah, we
So
did.
love is a rescue.
Yeah. Uh, so my perspective on love today, other principles that I mentioned earlier about honesty, open-mindedness, willingness, forgiving, patience, and things like that. Um, I want to go back to how there comes a point where you have to let go of a person that you love.
How is that love?
Because as long as I'm holding on or supporting you in your anger or your life or trying to control your life, and there's no response. I mean, you can't change people. I know that. The only person I can change is me. I can't change what you say, what you do, how you act, what you think, the choices you make. But when I'm trying to do that, and I love you so much, I love you so much that I want this for you, but it's only by, I'm not going to say, Maurice, that stop loving him, but put a barrier, because loving you is hurting me. Helping you is hurting me. And I've had some situations where I've did put, I had to block some numbers of people that I really love.
Did they come around?
Some did, yeah, they did. Some did, some didn't. Some did, some didn't.
How do you feel
Uh,
about that?
they have a choice. I was comfortable with the decision I made, but people have a choice. Uh, so today I want to be happy. I want to tell the truth. I want to laugh out loud, work hard, keep my promises, help others, do my best. I mean, this all sounds cliche-ish, you know what I mean? But I listen, because of the love I feel with my God and with myself, loving me today. I love me. I smile in the mirror. There's a time when I wouldn't look in the mirror for days. I remember not looking in the mirror because I hated what I saw. I look in the mirror and smile. I sing in the shower. I laugh out loud. I laugh out loud. I dance around the house. I dance like no one's watching me. And I think another way, as I mentioned, Maurice, on different levels. So if you call me, I'm going to answer your call. I'm not, I might be a little late. If you text me, I'm texting you back. If you call me, I'm calling you back. Uh, uh, Technology has gotten away. All these people you see on it on social media, Twitter and Instagram and all them other. I mean, if that's for me, it's not love. You're an acquaintance that I see online. I don't know you. I don't know you other than what I see. And you can be attracted to to people's appearances and all that. You love them. That's principle love. But for me, I want to sit down and eat dinner with you. I want to, I want to get to know you. I'll say this quiet. My daughter lives a way off, and it's a situation where I didn't quite know that she was all right. And it was late, and I just, something inside me compelled me, like any parent would do. I'm not saying I'm special. I just got up, man. I put my clothes on. I got in my car, and I headed up there. Now, I believe that as my life get older, my days are short on the earth here. Uh, when I see my family members, I'm going to hug you like I may not see you again.
How did you learn that kind of love?
Uh,
What made you know that
uh,
that's what you needed to do, to get in your car and drive?
I felt it deep inside of me. It was a father's intuition. Uh, this is a girl I held in my hands, and she's a lot older now. Uh, yeah,
And so you get to share
yeah,
a deeper love.
a much deeper love. And I think over the years, your perspective changes on things. What mattered 10 years ago don't matter so much today. Material things I'm speaking of. I can love my car, but that car can't love me back. I can love my job, that job can't love me back. I can love my house, but that house cannot love me back. Only people can love me back. That nice picture I got on the wall. Oh, I love that picture. I love that picture. That picture can't love me back. That picture don't talk to me. But you talk to me, Maurice. I feel your love. I feel your love. I feel your spirit.
So it's the love that makes those things animate. The body that we live in, it's the love that's on the inside
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that gives it value.
Right.
Like Luther said, a house is not a home.
A house is not a home. That's right. That's right. A house is not a home. And people have died from a lack of love. I'm
Absolutely.
sure you know that. There's many. There was recently in the news, guy was married to his wife for so many years. You don't hear it. Hey, Mocha. She died, and it's not uncommon. He died within a week. He died within a week because the one he loved all his life is no longer here. So yeah, people can die from a lack of love. And there are people who try to buy love. Oh my God. You're gonna try to buy somebody's love? The price you pay to buy love is not worth the price you paid for it. You
Yeah, I
can't.
like to say I had the best friends that money could buy
Right.
at one point in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And the realization was that I didn't really love me. I was trying to, I was looking for the love outside of myself that had to originate on the inside. And I'm still engaged in that process of learning how to love me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And the more I'm able to love myself, I'm finding it easier to love others because I'm recognizing my own humanity,
Mm-hmm.
which gives me the ability to see theirs.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I know that none of us are perfect, not in this human experience.
Mm-hmm.
So I have my own story around how not being loved can be a destructive force, or the idea actually of not being loved. My own brother died of heartbreak because my father abandoned him when my sister was born. He took all of his affection and focused it on her when he previously focused all of his affection and attention on him. And I watched my brother's heartbreak. And he put himself in a position where he didn't actually take his own life, but he put himself in a position where somebody else could.
Mm.
That almost broke my heart.
Mm.
Well,
Mm.
actually, it did.
I'm
And I
sorry.
resorted to drugs. But I'm
Yeah.
a part of a spiritual program that says some of us have to die so others could live.
I question. I question that. I question that. That's like saying you got to cut off your right arm to appreciate your left arm. That's just
Well, if
me.
your right arm is infected and is dying, you might have to cut it off so that the rest of your body could live.
If that's the case, if that's the case,
You know,
I
like a diabetic.
yeah, I like I lost my brother. And not to cut you off, Maurice. I'll let you finish. First of all, you have my condolences. That's a tough loss, man. Uh, some of us have to die so that others can live. I don't wish death on nobody.
Yeah.
Death stops everything.
But
Um,
that's a fact in my
it's a
life.
reality.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. Yeah, it is a reality. It is a reality, Maurice. I hear you loud and clear.
So I've
Um,
really had to deal with love, on a deep level, understanding first of all how I didn't love myself.
mm,
What parts of me didn't I like? I'm learning how to wrap love around those places, those traumas, and outright betrayals and abandonment. Those were part of my experiences. But love has given me another perspective on those things. Instead of seeing all of the things that are not available to me, the things that were made difficult or impossible, I'm seeing the possibilities because
mm,
of love.
mm, mm, mm. So, how do you keep your love for yourself and others alive?
By continuing to feed love to pour love into my experience and
Mm,
to be surrounded by people who can share their own love unconditionally. They may not even be directing their love toward me, but they'll share experiences that open me up to see the possibilities of love, how they continue to march through circumstances and situations. There are things going on in the world right now where there appear to be no love. But what I know is that there is love is in the midst, and the good that is taking place even in the middle of war is the love that's present, and active.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I didn't always see it. And now I have faith that it's there even when I don't see it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
see the love in you. That's the reason why I asked you
Mm-hmm.
to have this discussion with me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know you either,
Right.
but I feel you.
Mm-hmm. And that's more important, to feel a person's love. You know, some people get hired. You know, when you talk about feeling a person's love, you can feel it in their tone of voice. Absolutely. Uh, you can feel it in their tone of voice. I want to go back to, do you remember Sade, the singer Sade?
Absolutely. I love her.
So do I. I love her. She's my favorite female artist of all time. But she had a song, Maurice, called It's Only Love That Gets You Through. It's only love that gets you through. And in that song, she says, somehow you made it to the other side. You didn't suffer in vain. It's only love that gets you through.
I believe that's the truth.
It's only love. And then a lot of times it's only love that gets you through. And she says, you forgive those who trespass against you. Love is kind and love can give and get no gain. Feel me?
Yes.
Love is kind and love can give and get no gain. You want to see love sometimes? You want to learn love? Be around a child. I learned love from children. I work with children. You see those innocent children. They don't see how much money in your pocket or where you live. I think I said this earlier on at the beginning. They just want to have fun. They don't see your color, your
I
zip
consider
code.
children, not to cut you off, but children to be direct from God. they
Yes, without a doubt.
they
One
come
time,
they come with
shit,
love.
they come with love. They bundled up with love. It's only the life experiences and people that influence them over the years that mold their mind and heart, you know. Anyway, I go back to another proverbial saying, you know, one time a man was a great teacher and the children were coming to see him, but he was like a powerful speaker, greatest teacher. And his followers was trying to prevent the children from coming around him. They thought he was too busy for the children. You know what he told them? You know what he told his followers?
What?
He says, unless you become like children, you ain't going nowhere. And what he meant by that is as adults, we need to be like children.
And
We
we
need,
do.
yes, I love a child. What prevented me from coming in, my little 6-year-old neighbor was talking to me outside. I'll stop everything if a child wants to talk. And here's another thing I believe in. As we get older, we need to give direction to people. Some people want it and some people don't. But especially what's going on in the world today, in the Middle East and in your own area. But I don't live in fear. I believe that love pushes fear outside. Fear can act as a restraint, and my love will push that fear away so that I can proceed. Yeah,
The Bible says overcome evil with love.
that's right. That's how you conquer evil.
It didn't say there wouldn't be evil,
Mm-hmm.
but there would be a power called
Mm-hmm.
love that could overcome it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
And for me, that's more like a demonstration rather
Mm-hmm.
than a statement.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
We love by example.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because there's many people that will talk about love, but when you see what they do,
Okay.
there's
Yeah.
many people that say they love their families.
uh, I call it, I was going to say, when you say that, is a distorted kind of love. Why did you kill her? Because I loved her. Oh, yeah. Why did you kill her? Why did you kill her? Why did you kill the children? Because I loved them. You know, there's a amount, a lot of, insanity and bizarre thinking and mental illness. And I just say that to say what you said. You think you're doing something out of love, and it's, do you believe there's a selfish love?
I do believe that there's a selfish love because I don't believe that love can be made more or less. I don't believe that love can be, if I have love within me, wherever I go, that love is flowing out of me.
Mm-hmm.
This is my belief.
Mm-hmm.
I have to learn how to love myself, and to the degree that I can love myself, that is the degree that I can love others. I believe Whitney was right
Mm.
when she said the greatest love
Yes, yeah.
is the love for oneself,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because it's only from there
Mm-hmm.
that I can extend love to others.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, I'm giving what may look like um, issues based on unresolved traumas. So my job is to resolve those things so that I can be a clear channel for the love that I believe my God is. The clearer the channel,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
the greater the presence of love is.
Mm-hmm.
I believe we have auras,
Mm-hmm.
and auras are possible to see and feel. It's like when certain people walk into a room, the whole mood changes.
Absolutely.
They carry
Yeah.
a peace with them
Mm-hmm.
that's beyond any understanding, any explanation.
Without a doubt. Every Yeah, I can't agree with you more about certain people in a lifetime. You'll see them once in a lifetime and come through, and they do carry that certain tranquility. Do you feel like, I'm sure you do, because I do, certain people, man, I feel at peace when I'm around them, when they talk. I love to laugh and I can be sarcastic, but I have to take an inventory of myself and make sure that my sarcasm is not, you know, hindering your love for me or me giving you love, because I want to be happy. I want to smile, despite what I'm going through. Despite, because we all go through things. So yeah, to your point, certain people. I like to look at I like to look at movies, man. I cry. I cry a lot. Well, I don't cry a lot. I cry when I'm looking at tragedy. I don't do news much. I do not do news much. If something happens, I'll hear it from someone else probably before I hear it on the news.
I envy those people that can cry. I was told as I was growing up, and this is something that has been difficult for me to shake, is that you're the oldest, you're the one that should be responsible and taking care of your brothers and your mother, and boys don't cry.
Mm.
This was something that
Misconception.
my relatives um, drilled into me because there was so much um, violence
Mm.
and chaos in my
Mm.
growing up.
Mm.
And, my mother was being battered,
Mm.
and I felt powerless
Mm.
until I didn't.
Wow. So do you cry now?
Very rarely.
Really? Okay.
So I envy those people that
Okay.
can really make that connection. And so there's still part of me that
Mm-hmm.
I got to do a deeper dive on.
Mm-hmm. Um,
And I have help. I've got people in my community who
uh,
not only understand, but they also can help me
mm-hmm.
see it differently.
Oh, can help you see it differently. Well, I was, yeah, you know,
So,
see, go ahead.
so you being able to cry really is an inspiration to me.
Oh, yeah, and I encourage you, way say tears are God's way of, I forget the quote. I was sharing it with a girl today. I was at the motor vehicles, and I'm a talkative person. I will take the initiative just to, you know, and we got into a long conversation the whole time for an hour, and be surprised how much we have in common. But I would encourage you, real men cry, and I feel so relieved when I let those tears fall because it's a cleansing of the heart. Tears is a cleansing. I come from a group of guys when somebody's talking and getting emotional, and if somebody bring tears up, if somebody bring tissues up while he's crying, no, you take them tissues away. You let them tears fall. Don't dry them tears up. It's the reason why.
I
So
believe that's true.
and,
But it's
yeah,
believing it and actually applying it.
yeah.
That's two different things. Part of the reason why I want to have this conversation is
Mm,
because I want to hear the application,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
so that
mm-hmm,
I can see differently.
mm-hmm.
I can see that something else is possible.
Uh, yeah. As humans, man, for me, and I learned it a lot of, you know, the little boy in me started to live a few years ago. The little boy, that scared little boy that his mother told him not to get off the steps. If he got off the steps, he would get a beating, a spanking. And what I was going to say, and we learn from each other, man. I don't consider myself superior or inferior to no one. God made us all with a certain characteristic, a certain ability, and it's a gift, or even a gift, if you will. And it's, I think one of the quotes was, "Find your gift and then give it away."
Yeah, we
Find
have.
what you, like right now, what you're doing, like what you're doing on this broadcast. That's a gift. That's a gift. I mean, you're giving it away. You're doing these podcasts, man. Look at the people that's being influenced and affected. And you never know what you said to somebody after you have left their presence that had an impact on them. Ain't that the beauty?
And you're giving.
Yeah.
You were invited to give and showed up.
It was,
Not everybody can do that. Not everybody can take the time.
mm,
Not everybody wants to get that honest. Not everybody wants to
mm.
challenge their
Uh,
humanity.
yeah. I learned so much from other people.
And that's the opportunity we
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
in, in
Yeah.
this very moment.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I think we were somewhere together, man. I forget. I invited you somewhere, you invited me somewhere, and we were like, "Hey, Maurice, I gave you an invite, you showed up. You gave me an invite, I showed up." You know, that's what friends do. That's what love is all about. It's about sharing and caring with
Absolutely.
with no ulterior motive. With no ulterior motive. You, I said earlier, you can't buy love, um, and if you can give it, it's something real special. I believe love never fails.
So love brings people together.
Without a doubt. Look at the marches over the years in the name of love.
Look
Who
at the
said,
marches that are happening now.
yeah, how about that? Who said, all we need is love. Love makes the world go round. I got so many songs that I can reflect on and movies that I can reflect on about love. Genuine. Hey, here's one for you, Maurice. Genuine love. Genuine love.
You said you've seen movies that
Yeah, that just
have
shows.
impacted you in that way.
Oh yeah,
What's one movie that you?
uh, one of my favorite of all time was A Bronx Tale. It was a kind of gangster movie, but it was about the love that this guy had, this white guy had for this black girl. She lived in Harlem, he lived up in Brooklyn, but he didn't let that deter him. The other one was I got so many I can't think right now off the bat. How green is my valley? I'm old school with movies. I give me a black and white movie and a bowl of ice cream, and I'm good to go. Oh man,
Me too. Some popcorn and
yeah. Oh, so what do you think about all the fake love that's out here today?
I think part of it is that people don't really understand the impact of genuine love, as you just pointed out,
Yeah,
and it's kind of like a fake it till you make it
yeah, yeah,
experience. And one thing I have really gotten clear about is that we all grow at our own rate. and we're all in our own spiritual, on our own spiritual path.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And some of us are farther ahead than others. You know, some of us have already been to hell and realized that, you know what, love can turn this around. And in the same life, I can experience some heaven.
You can experience what?
Some heaven.
Oh yeah.
Literally live two lives or more
Or more, without a doubt, or more, or more.
in one life experience.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know who's going to be the one.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like you said, you know,
Yeah.
we bring the information, we bring the example.
Mm-hmm.
Who will really hear it and see it? Not up to us. We plant the seeds.
Yeah. The other thing I realized, yeah, agree that sex and love has very little in common.
Oh
I
my
mean,
God.
it can be. I mean, it's a tiny part of loving someone. You know, some people, and and men and women get it so much. I just my again speaking on my perspective, get that really twisted. Really, he had sex with me. He loves me. She had sex with me. She loves me. Sex is an outlet. It's not. Now, I'm not saying that just two don't. You can love and have sex with your wife and your or your significant other. And that's fine. But I know a guy, he wants to go to meet somebody he met on the internet. He said she told him she loves him. Oh God. Yeah. And I called him like, are you out of your mind? Oh, there's a proverbial Marie saying, if my friend should strike me, meaning tell me something I don't care to hear or hurt me, I'd rather you hurt me than to see me suffer from the consequences of a bad choice that I've made. And you knew about it, but you didn't tell me. Does that make sense?
It does.
It hurt my feelings, man, but let me live. Maurice, I might have to, come here, come on, say hi to Maurice. Come on up here. Come on, Mocha. She won't get up. She's a Himalayan, part Persian, part Siamese. And when I saw pictures of her, she was all matted up, her and her two sisters, in a cage in an abandoned lot where they were abandoned. They were left there. And I took her in. I went and they said that I went to the rescue. I had about a little over a year, about a year and a half. And I said, you'll never, ever. And she's jumpy and scary. I don't mean to go off on a tangent with this here. But yeah, you said earlier, animals can be hurt. I hate to see that. They see these commercials, but her, I experience it. It took a year before, it took about 6 months before she came out of hiding and got used to me. I would have to put her food out. She would eat her food and go into hiding and stay there. Listen to me, for months, for
Mm-hmm.
months, and until she felt that I wouldn't hurt her. Until she felt that I wouldn't hurt her. And now at night she jumps on my bed.
And so you're demonstrating love and it's healing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mocha.
Yes.
But do you realize it's healing everybody that you come into contact with?
I tell that story a lot. Yeah.
You know how powerful that it is?
Mhm. Yeah. Uh,
Mocha feels you.
oh, yeah. Without a doubt, she does. We got our routine and everything.
And you feel her.
Oh, yeah. I will stop my day if I'm out somewhere and it's getting dark. I will stop my day just so I can get home before it gets dark. And anyway, that's another story. But but animals can't replace the love of a human being. Let me not, I don't
But
want to,
love is love, isn't it?
that's true. Love is love. Okay. That is true. There are some people who have replaced human beings with an animal. I
Yeah.
know people who have left millions of dollars to their insurance to their pet. They've left money to their pet.
They couldn't take it with them, so
Took them to pet cemetery, right?
why
That was,
not give the pet
yeah,
access to the love
right, right, right.
because they're leaving the money actually to somebody that they believe will take care of that pet the same way that they would or close to it.
Yeah.
I have a love relationship with my plants. I've got more than 40 plants in my apartment.
Do you really? Okay.
Yes, I do.
What kind of plants?
They're house plants and herbs and uh, rubber trees and ferns.
Okay.
I've got plants that cascade from the pot, down to the floor and move around the room.
Okay.
I've got ficus trees. My plants have turned into trees.
Really?
Yes,
Plants have turned into trees
plants that
inside
have,
your apartment. Okay.
yes, sir,
Okay.
inside my apartment. I have to trim them back when they hit the ceiling.
Wow. What's your favorite plant?
I think the palms are my favorite plant.
Oh, the what? Palms?
Palm trees.
Why is that?
Just because of the way they're structured, they have a really strong base, but
Hmm.
at the same time, in the wind, they're flexible.
Okay.
They can withstand a lot.
Yeah. Well, Maurice, this has been the highlight of my day.
And I'm grateful that
This
you've
is
taken part in this.
this has been the highlight of my day. I'll reminisce on this. And
And I really believe that other people will feel you.
yeah, I hope so in some small way, even if it's one person. If what we discussed about love touches one person and has an impact on them, where they can feel the same love and and give love to others.
I have
Uh,
one final question.
sure,
How can love help us be better people?
and help us in so many ways. Again, I'll go back to the subcategories of love. Love can help us to be better parents, better children. If we have parents, better neighbors. Uh, it can help us in on a different social levels that we might be on, being better people. again, you'll be, well, what's a better person? I don't want you to tell me. I want to show you by, again, other sub principles of love. Honesty. If I'm loving you, I'm not going to lie to you, man. If I'm loving you, I'm not going to lie to you. If I'm loving you, I'm going to be patient with you, even though you did it 3 or 4 times. If I'm loving you, I'm helping you, but I'll draw the line now. You keep asking for money now. Come on now. Ain't gonna be no fool. That's another thing we didn't talk about. Love has made a fool out of a lot of people, Maurice. There's a song about love makes me do foolish things. But again, to your question, love can change the world. At a certain time, it can stop a movement because of love. And we've had great men demonstrate that.
So I want to be respectful of your time, and but I want to give you an opportunity to give us some last words. What would you say to people? What is your message of love to the world right now?
That you as an individual can make a difference. You as an individual can have an impact.
No matter who you are?
No matter who you are. I always say, don't wait for that call, make the call. Don't wait for that person to call you. You love that person, you make the call. Call a friend that you haven't talked to. I challenge you. Call 3 people today that you haven't talked to. And all you have to do is say, I was thinking about you. So you can make a difference. You can make a difference.
Thank you, RG.
Thank you so much, Maurice. It's been, again, an honor and a privilege. And we'll see each other soon.
Yes, sir. Have a wonderful evening.
You as well. Restful and peaceful.
Thank you. Thank you for listening. I'm grateful for the opportunity to give you an insight into how we may practice these principles in such a way that freedom comes to each of us. It's a commitment that I hope each of you can make to this practice that I know has set me and others free from the chaos and the confusion. Thanks for listening.